homies. I'm super stoked for today's product installation. You're gonna love this one. Apparently the kitty already loves it. Today we're installing a rear mounted gear carrier for the Jeep Wrangler. It's this bracket from QMPARTS that goes right on your tailgate, and it's meant to carry your traction boards, your gas cans, maybe water tanks, whatever you got back there. Let me just show you it. Can't wait for you guys to check it out. Right away you can see a couple of things. So we've got the brand name right in the middle, as well as a whole lot of different options for mounting spots. Again, these are for different bolts, for brackets that already exist, and some from that same company, I'm sure. I really like the thickness of this metal. It feels really sturdy. And of course it comes with all the hardware, and this looks like the mounting brackets for traction boards. For the first step, we have to put these two parts together. Okay, and for each one of these, we have a washer and a pressure washer. Per the instructions, it looks like 2 bolts go on the outside, 4 bolts go along the bigger plate. On your traction boards, you have a bunch of different holes you can choose from. I'm mounting mine right down here. They're the closest to the middle. Essentially, this rod can go all the way across, and it gets sandwiched between the plate. So you've got your bolt going through, a washer and a nut on each side. This hole is drilled in a perfect circle here, and this one is long, just like this up here. So you can sort of shift it back and forth and decide how wide you want these. So these are set up exactly for my traction boards, but you can sort of play with the size a bit. Let me show you how it's mounted. Looks like it goes right into these bolts, but these aren't flush, so that means metal has to go against them. The mounting bracket on this part, the bolt goes right here, and it clears this pretty well. But I'm still nervous about damaging my paint, so I'm gonna make some gaskets for this. To remove that bolt, you'll need a T55 torque screw remover. And for the bolts that come with your kit, you'll need a 8mm Allen wrench. Won't be necessary to remove the tire for this. As long as the tailgate's close, the second set of screws should hold it in place just fine. Now I just gotta do the same with the bottom one. Looks like that's where they line up. So we're gonna do 1 bolt here. Just gotta go all the way through. You got your washer, and then your bolt, and then I'm gonna use that thing I made right here. Alright, looks like you grab it a bit. Let's get the top one in so we can go straight. It's on there real snug. I went through and tightened everything up again. They engineered it so there's actually a little bit of space there so it doesn't scratch up your paint. And it is on there nice and solid. It feels real rigid. I have a 33, so if you have like a 35 or 37, you might be a little bit more space limited, but I would say that's about 3 inches right there. This is the side profile. It does stick out quite a bit. Clears that. Now remember, the tailgate has multiple stopping points, so it can't just stop there and, you know, it stays there, so you'll be fine. So after messing with it for a second, I found that for my specific set of traction boards, it works better if I flip them. So this way, it's nice and flat on that side. And now that the bolts are in, you just put in this little bracket. It goes in there. It looks like mine's at the maximum length. So if you have something wider than that, it might be something you have to modify. The only thing I'm not super stoked about is this is actually plastic, so I think I'm gonna go make a metal one and replace this at some point. But yeah, after it's done like that, you just take the knobs and you screw them in. Same thing on this side. Now, if you're worried about theft, these are not locking. You might have to rig up something if you want to lock them. I wouldn't drive around with these around the city anyway, so I'm hoping that doesn't become a problem. They're on here solidly, but since we have the extra holes here, I'm gonna throw a strap around it just to keep it extra safe. So for extra precaution, I threaded in a ratchet strap, connected it to itself essentially. Come all the way around, and there it is. And if cruising around with your back window open is something you like to do, just be cognizant of that if you're trying to close the hatch, because that will touch, so you don't want to break it. So overall thoughts, my initial dislike of it was the length here. So the space from here to here seems like a lot. Seems like it would stick out more than I wanted it to. But then again, the reason for that is if it was any shorter, it would hinder your ability to open your hatch even more. So that is absolutely necessary. So the installation took a total of 15 minutes, 20 if I add like the couple of things I had to redo. But overall, it was pretty easy. Now what else is there left to do but to go test it out, huh? Let's go.